Welcome back yet again, brawlers. I'm Bakugan96, and today I will be bringing you the 5th installment in my Bakugan Geogan Rising requested deck profile series. For those of you who don't know, that is simply, if you want, anyone who wants to comment down below 3 Bakugan that I have recently unboxed or shown off in the channel in a deck profile, I will do so and make it and upload it as soon as possible. That's pretty much what the series is. It's very simple, very basic. You can choose to include Geogan, which is obviously what this person did, as well as they did want it Hydranoid themed. I do only have the 2 Hydranoid, unfortunately. So he did compromise, and we did come up with a Darkus Dragonoid core from Geogan Rising. So that was really neat, as well as a Geogan for each. So let's go ahead and get right into the deck profile, starting with the Bakugan, their stats, and then the core. Of course, my absolute favorite, so I did enjoy making this deck profile because Hydranoid is awesome. Starting off is my Diamond Hydranoid Ultra for Aquos, double green fist, B power of 700, 1 damage, and if it lands on a green fist, you get plus 200 B power. Go ahead and show off the Hydranoid. Here is the Diamond Hydranoid Ultra, absolutely amazing. Again, Hydranoid has been my favorite Bakugan for like all time. We do have the Haos Hydranoid then. It is a orange shield and green fist core, B power of 400, 2 damage, and then domination. So if your Bakugan are holding the most Baku cores, it gets plus 4 more damage. I didn't design the deck to focus on this ability. I more focused the deck around just Hydranoid as a whole, and then kind of like a damage B power type deal with the Geogan. But anyway, you'll see in the later on. I'll go ahead and move the character card and just put the characters there. So here we have the core Haos Hydranoid. And then of course I have used it in a deck profile before. We do have the Darkus core Dragonoid from Geogan Rising. It is an orange shield and a helix core, B power of 600, 3 damage, and then Victor, so if it wins the brawl you do get to scan, which is a nifty ability. I did make a deck profile before that was 3 Dragonoids and they all had the scan ability. Here is the Darkus core Drago. Just a cute little note, the arms are manual for anyone who doesn't know that. Core lineup is super basic, most of it is green fist core and there's only so much you can do with that. So the 3 green fist I run are plus 150 B power and plus 2 damage. Again, 3 of those. It's kind of the best one you can get for the most B power. For the 2 orange shield slots, I do run plus 300 B power, one of these. And then a Aquos and Darkus get plus 400. I probably would run 2 of these. Unfortunately, the Haos Hydranoid loses out on the deal, but it does bump the other 2 up quite a bit. Sorry. And then the final core used is the Helix core, and I did decide to go with the plus 600 B power and minus 3 damage because the deck does have a lot of damage buff cards in it, so I figured you could work around that with your own cards and just use the B power because the Haos Hydranoid is kind of low B power wise, so I wanted to try to facilitate that as much as possible with B power buffs in the core and cards. But a lot of damage too because I didn't know which way to really take the deck. Didn't really have a theme card wise as much as the theme was just Hydranoid. So again, really cool, but I kind of struggled with a strategy. Enough talking though, we will get into the deck list. I will start off with the Geogan first off. The darkest one used is Arcleon, 2 energy for a B power of 1000, 7 damage. If it lands on a green fist, which the deck has plenty of, you get plus 500 B power. And then if it lands on an orange shield, you get plus 3 damage and Shadow Strike. So I figured this was the best competitive option for this particular deck profile out of the Geogan I had. at least for the Darkus slot, because again, I picked one for each faction of the deck. So yeah, really good, and 7 damage is just killer. Moving on though, again, as competitive as possible, I went with the Aquos Monstropod. 2 energy for a B power of 1200 and 4 damage. 1200 for 2 being the big thing in mind. I wasn't worried about the damage because the deck does have a lot of damage buffs. It does have the Victor team attack ability, so if this is your 3rd Bakugan opened, you do get to initiate that team attack. Again, huge deal there. The final Geogan I use is Haos Skyhorse. 4 energy for a B power of 1500, 5 damage, and then if it lands on a green fist, which again, a lot in the deck, you get plus 700 B power, making that really nice. And then it also has that Victor team attack ability as well, so kind of using that to our advantage. We'll go ahead and show off the Geogan right quick. Here we have Darkus Arcleon, Aquos Monstropod, and finally, of course, we do have the Haos Skyhorse with a manual little snout mouth there. And then, of course, the Viloc foot that could be an extended tail. And that is the Bakugan team lineup and Geogan lineup. Now down to the meat, the actual heart and soul, I guess the deck of the whole team. Or card profile, I don't know. Sorry, I'm kind of jumbled today, kind of an off day. Long day at work, but I did want to get an awesome deck profile out and keep that content rolling. So starting off, we do have 2 Aquos Bright Beams. 1 energy for plus 2 damage, and you get to draw 1. Just a damage buff and draw power, pretty simple. One of my favorite Darkus cards, we have Body Crusher, 1 energy for minus 4 damage, and you get to scan. So pretty nice with that scan ability, and minus 4 for 1 is always nice. Moving along, however, I do have 2 Crushing Shadows, 1 energy for plus 200 B power, and 1 Frost Strike. The Frost Strike's not a big deal, but again, 200 B power for 1 energy does help when our Bakugan are on the lower end of B power themselves. Then, of course, it is an Aquos deck profile, so I have that deep dive in there. 1 energy, but I do have 2 of them, so 1 energy cost, you get to draw 1, and you may reroll your Bakugan. So just a reroll card with draw power, you know, if you need to draw into the deck, or you just simply need to reroll a miss. Very good card to use. Also a very good utility card being Echo Search. I also run 2 of these. 1 energy to scan, draw 1, and then scan again. So you definitely get to dig into your deck with this card a lot. I really like it, and I am very excited to test it out. Then going back to, the B power buff of the deck, we have Nelius Annihilator. 1 energy for plus 300 B power. But if a scan or scrounge effect allows you to look at this card on top of your deck, you can reveal it to give a Bakugan plus 600, which, given all the scanning you're doing with the previous cards mentioned and some upcoming, this definitely has the potential to go off and you're going to get that 600 more than you think probably, or at least that is my hope when building the deck profile. Going on to the 2 energy costed cards. We have 2 Blinding Aquabite, which 2 energy for plus 4 damage and plus 2 Frost Strike. Again, just stacking that damage as much as possible. Then we have 2 Chomping Tornado, 2 energy for plus 500 B power, 2 for 5, not bad at all early game. That same logic behind Flash Attack, which I run 2 of. It is 2 energy for 5 damage, so again, 2 for 5, not bad early on, and again, with some of the other lower cost cards, you just stack damage. When you get in the B power, you get in the Victor, and then when it goes to the damage, you just stack up as much damage as possible. One thing that really helps in this deck profile in particular with that damage stacking is 2 of Lightning, so it's 2 energy for a hero when you open a Bakugan, it gets +3 damage. So that's all you have to do. You just roll. When it opens, you already got +3 added on to what it is naturally by itself, and then any other action cards you play gets crazy really quick. Really like this card a lot. Then Throw Anything, another card I use in pretty much any Darkus deck or any deck I have that runs Darkus. 2 energy for +400 B power and Shadow Strike in Throw Anything. 400 and Shadow Strike is really good. Again, Shadow Strike not being able to have your B power or damage reduced is really nice. So now moving on to the 3 energy costed Flip Strike. It gives you +700 B power, so just a vanilla 3 for 7. Again, your Bakugan do have lower B power than normal. You are going to have that problem where the Bakugan you would go up against with this team are just way higher in B power, printed B power even. So as much B power gain as you can get for low energy is kind of what the deck wants to do. The only 3 of in the deck profile is Fusion Flames, that being the main reason, behind it. 3 energy for +800 B power. It's only 3 and it's giving you a huge amount of B power that hopefully your opponent will not have an answer to and you will win. And then going back to the damage plays, we have 2 Sonic Aura. 3 energy for +6 damage and you get to scan. So again, another way to get off that Nelius Annihilator and add up the damage. And then just for flavor, because it is my Diamond Hydranoid, I do have the Diamond Hydranoid Ultra Evo card, which is arguably not competitive at all because it is an 8 energy cost Evo for a B power of only 1900 and 8 damage. So there are certainly a lot better options, but again, just flavor. It was Hydranoid themed, so gotta have that Evo card. And killer artwork. Absolutely love it. Now the last part of the deck profile is of course the flip cards. So we will flip through them, no pun intended. 2 Darkus Snare, 0 energy to block a Bakugan holding a Magic Shield. 1 Dazzle, 0 energy to block a Bakugan holding a Helix. 2 Confuse, which is 1 energy to block a Bakugan holding a Flaming Fist or a Magic Shield. And then I have 1 Deep Freeze, 1 energy to block a Bakugan holding a Magic or Helix Core. And then finally for this deck profile, I do have Sonic Shield, which is a 1 energy cost, block a Bakugan holding green or Flaming Fist cores. So everyone, that'll do it for this requested deck profile. Hope you all enjoyed it. It was really fun to make. I definitely like these requested deck profiles, so I hope everyone engages and puts in their input, what you all want to see down below. Definitely looking forward to it. Hope you all have a fantastic rest of the day or night, depending on when you're watching it, and I will see you all next time. Remember, Bakugan Brawl!